In the studio by our international affairs editor Armand George. Armand, hello. What did Theresa May achieve with this speech?
Well, I think she was mainly trying to reassure EU leaders and also business communities, particularly in the UK, but also those elsewhere in Europe who have dealings with Britain. I think she was also trying to reset the media narrative because the media have been so focused on how difficult these talks have been between the UK and EU negotiators. And I think it was a chance to come back to some basic principles and to set out a liberal internationalist case for Brexit rather than the nativist one. And this is why she kept referring to shared values. She kept saying Britain is leaving the EU, but it is not leaving Europe. So it was a very different tone from some of her previous speeches when she said things like, if you think you're a citizen of the world, then you're a citizen of nowhere, or when she said no deal is better than a bad deal. This time was a completely different pitch. The key words in this speech were optimism, imagination, creativity, spirit, and a great deal. So a great deal as opposed to a bad deal or no deal. So a completely different story today.
So where does this leave those who voted out?
Well, she was asked by various right-wing publications in the question and answer, won't Brexiteers be angry or betrayed at this? And indeed, Nigel Farage, the former UK UKIP leader, also reacted, saying basically what this shows is Britain is not really leaving the EU in March 2019. And actually, he has a point, because in this speech, Theresa May has confirmed that the UK will continue to have access to the European single market for a 2-year transition period. She also confirms that she recognises the single market rules are indivisible. In other words, if you're in the single market, you have to accept free movement of people. What does this all mean? For 2 years after March 2019, there will be free movement of EU citizens into Britain and vice versa. That is not what Brexiteers voted for. What this also means is that for 2 years, the European Court of Justice will have jurisdiction. Logically. I mean, she didn't say it openly, but that's the logical conclusion. That's not what Brexiteers voted for. Now, the British government officials are basically saying, they're emphasising this is just a transition. You know, after 2 years, Britain, of course, will take back control of its borders. So that's Boris Johnson's spin on this speech. But, of course, it's easy to see how Brexiteers will look at this as a concession to the European Union.
Armand George, thank you very much for that.